Guys, it is day 62. Day 62. It's crazy. Officially, 8 days left, but, like I said, you guys have maybe about 11 or 12 now. All right, so we're counting down here. You can still make massive change. I'm not going to say mega anymore, but I'm going to still say you can still make massive change. All right, so we're just under 20% of the time left, okay, just under 20%, all right, because you can go all the way to the date of your next scan, right, which will be in the middle of week 10, okay? All right, we got a meeting this Saturday, so come on out because we're going to talk about what to do after the challenge, all right? And even if you are doing the next challenge and I'm going to help you, it's still good to come out and learn the thinking behind things. Listen, a lot of what I tell you guys, I have to remind myself, a lot of what I tell you guys, you're not really going to understand right away. And a lot of this takes time, including your training, okay? Everything takes time, and so, you need regular exposure, okay? So everything takes time. I've taught classes before with some of you, and as you know, there are movements that I've done, and they've taken me, there's one movement in particular that took me 12 years to figure out how to do, okay? So 12 years how to feel, all right? So this applies to understanding of, different principles of what we're applying. It applies to exercise, it applies to this whole thing, all right? So, what I'm saying is immerse yourself into this as much as possible. Show up on Saturday. Make it a priority, all right? Okay. Last day of the early bird. It is the last day of the early bird price on the challenge. Tomorrow, the price is going up to $5.99. It's still sitting at $4.99. So if you want to do the challenge, buy into it today, okay? Okay, listen, somebody asked me a question about, they said they want to know my lunch and dinner as I went into a competition 10 days out. Well, I don't know what you're thinking here. Like, are you looking for something really special? I'll tell you what a lot of it was. It was a lot of green. It was a lot of green cruciferous vegetables and white fish. Yep, that was it. Okay, and the reason for it was at that point. This was really up until maybe 3 days out of the show. Okay. And then like the reverse just happens, but I won't talk about that now. Let's just talk about those 7 days. Listen, when competition is different, first of all, okay? Competition, like, you're totally at the point where you're way past a point of diminishing returns. Like, you're doing this much work to get like this much. All right? So the calories are super low. In order for me to get from like 7% body fat to 5% body fat, I had to do, an extreme amount of stuff because it just wasn't enough to move the needle. It wasn't enough to do what I was doing before to move the needle that little bit. So you're doing like this much to get this much. And this is what I wanted to keep you guys away from in the get-go or in the beginning of this challenge, was like, we didn't need to be doing this much in the beginning. We didn't need to be doing this much with your diet. We didn't need to be doing, that much with exercise, okay? We wanted to get the most out of the least. But what happens with competition and when you're pushing your body to a point where it's like, okay, I'm trying to get off that last little bit of fat everywhere, is the body is just fighting you. All right, it's just fighting you. So, you're going through all these, rather extreme measures. Your overall caloric intake is very, very low, and this is something that even you know, I was doing it competitively, obviously, but it was something that I did for a very short period of time. Like those weeks where we do that, it's really just a few weeks. But listen, what got me to the point on stage, what gets Martine to the point on stage is, you know, the whole endeavor. It's the whole 16 or 20 weeks of preparation. All right? So, you know, you've got to keep that in mind. It's not like you can't, you know, try to get, you know, 30 days in 10 days. All right? That's really not the idea. All right? It's persistency and consistency. Persistency and consistency. All right? Which leads me to my message, which you've heard me say before, and I want to remind you guys right now. Again, if you are persistent, you will get it. If you are consistent, you will keep it. If you are persistent, you will get it. If you are consistent, you will keep it. All right? It's all about the long game. The long game of consistency, of balance and consistency. That's what's going to get you to where you need to be. Don't worry about trying to be 5% body fat. I don't think you are, right? For a lot of us, we're like, let's get between, you know, 15 and whatever, 25% body fat, depending on the person here, right? And we don't need extreme measures for that. Okay? There's a lot more I can say on this. I can just talk and talk and talk, but I try to get the stuff done. And these videos are getting long these last few days. Maybe because I know it's getting to the end here. All right, guys, do it. Just submit, commit, and do it. We've got 12 days left. You can still make massive change. Okay, I'm not going to say mega massive change. I'm going to cut that out. But I can still tell you can still make massive change in 12 days, okay? It's just under 20% of the challenge, which is still a big, major part of the challenge. All right? Just do it, you guys. You guys got to do it. You got to do it. Just put your mind to it and do it. Do it.